The key takeaway from the debate on Tuesday night was total chaos. It was painful to watch.
My family lost a fortune by coming down and helping us with government.
And that's
Mr.
President.
Every single one of them lost
This
a
is not
fortune
about
by
my
coming and
family or
helping
his
us
family.
with
It's
government.
about your family.
So in a lot of ways, President Trump had the most at stake in this debate. He's trailing Biden in the polls, and he had to come out there and reach out to people who hadn't quite yet made up their minds.
What Biden had to do in this debate was to hold his own against Trump.
And let your senators know how strongly you feel. Vote now.
Are you going to pack the court?
President Trump came out interrupting and violating the terms of the debate, constantly pushing into Vice President Biden's time. And the moderator, Chris Wallace, didn't have control of the discussion.
The country would be better served if we allowed both people to speak with fewer interruptions. I'm appealing to you, sir, to do that.
Well, and him too.
Well, frankly, you've been doing more interrupting
Well, that's
than
all
he
right,
has.
but he does plenty.
Chris Wallace tried to get things under control, and Trump just, again, stomped all over him. He was a rhinoceros on a tennis court.
Gentlemen, I hate to raise my voice, but I see it seems to be, why shouldn't I be different than the two of you?
But at some points, Joe Biden, tried to kind of push back. At one point, he said,
"Will you shut up, man?"
And tried to kind of call Trump out on what he was doing. But nobody can ever out Trump. So while those lines, he got off some one-liners, he was never able to out chaos the chaos master.
I think he really tried to push Biden off of his game. And there were a few moments where Biden did look shaky, where he had to close his eyes and say things like, "Shut up, man." But ultimately, Biden found moments where he looked at the camera and tried to speak directly to the American people and speak through the noise.
You will determine the outcome of this election. Vote, vote, vote.
Joe Biden is somebody who struggles with a stutter. And this particular type of antagonism, of constant interruptions, of not letting somebody have the space to speak, is a nightmare for stutterers. So considering all that, I think that Joe Biden actually came out of this not a winner, but he held on.
He's been totally irresponsible the way in which he has handled the social distancing and people wearing masks, basically encouraged them not to.
Trump defended his record on handling the COVID-19 pandemic.
We got the gowns, we got the masks, we made the ventilators. You wouldn't have made ventilators, and now we're weeks away from a vaccine.
Government scientists are saying it will be early to mid next year before there's a vaccine that's widely available. So that was another example of Trump using the platform to spread misinformation about his pandemic response.
When asked directly about whether he would condemn white supremacists or respect the outcome of the election, the president told the Proud Boys, a known right-wing group.
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
That was a moment where President Trump was handed an opportunity to look presidential, to call for calm, and he didn't take it.
And he also said that he kind of left the door open for not respecting the outcome of the elections.
If it's a fair election, I am 100% on board. But if I see tens of thousands of ballots being manipulated, I can't go along with that.
He used the platform of this debate to talk about election integrity and spread false information about his concerns over fraud in mail-in ballots. There is no evidence of widespread fraud in mail-in ballots, but President Trump has repeatedly and continuously raised a false alarm about this.
In the last 25 years.
Because you weren't president screwing things up.
I don't think there was a winner of this debate. I think that Donald Trump lost this debate, but I don't think anybody won. And I think, if anything, the forces of chaos and anarchy might have won. Anybody who was looking to this debate in order to make an informed decision about who they were planning to vote for, there was no way that they could come out of this with any real solid information on what these candidates were offering.
I don't think there was a winner in the debate. If there was a loser, it was the political process, the history of presidential debates. the ability for our country to have civil discussion between two people who disagree.
There's nothing smart about you, Joe.
It's hard to get any word in with this clown.
The remaining debates, if they happen, will just be more chaos. So get ready for another supposedly interesting thing that you'll hate.
We can expect to see more fireworks, more flame and fire, and very little substance.